Now, as we move forward in deploying our project, there's three key pieces of information that we need to have. So the first one is the path to our project. So right now I moved into that virtual environment directory, so I need to do a cd ... That's going to move me back one, or if you just go to your home directory, you can do cd to the squiggly, and if you just do an ls, we're going to move into our project, which for me is the Django 3 personal portfolio, and I'm going to type pwd and hit enter, and this shows me the complete path to where my project is, so that I know exactly, okay, this is how I can get to it. That's the first piece of information that we need to know. The next one is the name of our project, which in my case is personal portfolio. Now, if there's any question on this, if you do an ls, it's the name of the folder that contains your settings. And if you go into settings, you can see that the name is referenced in multiple places throughout here, but it's this exact name that you shouldn't be changing here, but it's the name that you gave at the very beginning. You got to know what the name of your project is. And then the last thing is you just need to know the name of your virtual environment. So that should be the thing that's here in the parentheses. In my case, portfolio VENV, it's whatever you set it. But if we have those three pieces of information, we can move forward. So in a new tab, we're going to open up Python Anywhere. So go ahead and open up a new tab and open up Python Anywhere. And what we're going to do here is move over to web and actually create on Python Anywhere's backend that we want to make a website, and they're going to help do all the work to get what code we just uploaded working here to be deployed. So we're going to click add a new web app. All right, and it's telling you, hey, since you're on the free plan, that the name of your website is going to be, in my case, since I chose the name Nick Walter, nickwalter.pythonanywhere.com. Now you can pay to have a paid account and have your own custom domain. I'm going to show you how to do that at the end of this section, but just a little bit of info there. Okay, so next it's going to say, these are the different things that you can choose from, and it's very tempting to go choose Django here because it just has a lot of things set up for you, but we actually want to do the manual configuration because this allows us to have little custom bits and pieces here, and it's really not that hard. I really like Python Anywhere. They make things really simple, even when you're doing manual configuration like this. So go ahead and select that. It's going to say, what version of Python are you using here? We specified 3.8, so let's go ahead and pick 3.8. Let's go ahead and choose next here. It's just got tips on basically what it is we're about to do. All right, that then brings you to this page, which is sort of your dashboard for your website. And so anytime we make changes, we're going to hit this reload button. This is something you'll come to see. We do all the time. Also, there's this notice here. So this is free as long as you log in once every 3 months. And it's not like afterwards that, you're blocked out of your account. It's just like you have to come back and get stuff set up. Anyways, it's kind of a cool thing. It's just like, hey, make sure you're using our service and we'll be sure to keep up your website. But if we go ahead and move down here, there's a couple of things that we've got to make sure that we enter here. So the first one is, let's go ahead and set in the path to our virtual environment. So click this enter path. And for this, we're just going to simply put the name of our virtual environment. So in our case, remember that was, if we go to the console here, what was in parentheses, portfolio VENV. In fact, I'm just going to copy that directly. Okay, so I'm going to take that and paste that in, enter that. Okay, so here you can see it does the full path for us to where it is. Awesome. The next step for us is we want to change where our source code and working directory is. So this is basically saying, hey, where is your code? So if we go ahead and click on this, this is where we want to copy the full path of what we had listed before. So if you do that pwd and it shows, it's going to be basically /home/ whatever name you picked, and then the name of your folder for your project. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste that there, enter it. And I'm also going to change the working directory to also be that. So go ahead and paste this in, enter, beautiful. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to alter this WSGI file. Now this is not our project's WSGI file. In fact, if we go back to our project and we do a cd into personal portfolio, okay, oh, come on here. This is being slow for me. There we go. Okay, it went somewhere crazy. Let's do an ls. Okay, you can see we have the settings.py and also an wsgi.py, but this is not the wsgi file that we're editing. This is in fact actually one that Python Anywhere has that will eventually point to our project and all that good stuff. So we want to click here to be able to edit that. Now when we do this, this wsgi file has a ton of different things in here. In fact, right now it's set up to show this HTML. So if you actually go and type in, like in my case, my website was nickwalter.pythonanywhere.com, I believe. Okay, it's showing the code that was written right here. So we could actually manually enter this and change what's showing up there, but we want it to show our Django project. So what we want to do is scroll down until we see the code that comes for Django right here, okay? And we want to use all of this code. So what we're going to do is, like all the Flask stuff down below, we're going to delete that. We're going to go up above all the stuff that says custom wsgi, virtual environment. We're going to delete that. All this stuff that shows the website that's there now, we're going to go ahead and delete that, only having the Django stuff. So we're going to select all of this. If you hit Command and then the slash, on Windows it might be the Control slash, but anyways, it will uncomment that. If you can't get that to work, you just have to delete all the different comments there. But with this in place, we want to make sure that we delete this bit up here, the ++ Django to use your own Django, blah, blah, blah. Like your code should start with the import OS and the import sys, okay? So next what we have to do here is set everything to be able to set up for our project. So the first one is we have to set the path. So this path should be wherever it is that our project is. So we're going to go back to bash here and we're going to copy what pwd gave us. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Come back to the project here. Okay, so I'm going to then paste that in. Excellent. And the next thing here is we have to set where it says mysite.settings. This is the name of your project. So in my case, it's personal_portfolio. For you, it might be different if you chose a different name. Again, the way to find this, it's the name of the folder that has your settings. So if I'm inside of my main project, mine is personal portfolio. Yours might be different, but make sure you have that exact name. So in my case, personal_portfolio.settings. Okay. So with that in place, that's all the changes that we need to make. So we're going to go ahead and hit save there. All right. We'll wait for that to finish. Then we're going to go back, click on the little Python guy there, and then go to web. This is where we're going to reload our website. So we'll wait for that to finish. So once that's finished, let's go ahead and move over to that tab where we were checking out the website that was there before. If we go ahead and hit enter on this, you can see we're not completely there yet, but we're one step closer. We can tell that our Python, our Django code is running here because we're getting the Django error page. Now the error that we're getting here is that whenever we push to deployment, we have to specify what URL this thing is going to be running at. So in this case, mine is nickwalter.pythonanywhere.com, whereas yours is going to be something different. So you have to make sure that you find the name of your website. But in this case, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to move back into my project. In fact, we could, edit things here through the terminal, or this is kind of cool that we can go say, hey, take me to my source code. Click on go to directory here. Okay. Python Anywhere loves to take its time when we're going between things. Other than that, it's really smooth, but I will say it takes long to get to stuff. Then we're going to move into personal portfolio, or whatever the name of your project is, so that we can get to the settings. So here, it's kind of nice to just edit things right here instead of in the terminal. Inside of allowed hosts, this is just a list. I'm going to put in some quotes for a string, and I'm going to paste in nickwalter.pythonanywhere.com, and I'm going to save this. Okay. Now, once I have saved this file, I'm going to come back to the web, and I'm going to reload. And what this will do is it will take the changes that we've made. Anytime that you reload, it just sort of refreshes everything. So since we made a change to settings, we have to reload everything. And it should be, now when we reload that homepage, it's going to actually be showing our website. You'll notice it's not perfect, like the static files are going to be missing and all that stuff. But now that that's done, I'm going to reload this web page, and look at that. Most of the stuff is up and running. Clearly, the static thing's not there, but this is pretty cool. Like if we go to the blog, our blog posts are showing up there. We can go back to the home page. That stuff's all fine. So pretty awesome that with just a little bit of work here, we have our project up and running. If you were to do this on your own manually, like, setting up your own server and installing a server to run, the Django app, and then you were to set up your own database and all this stuff, like, it would take a lot of work. This is amazing how quick this is up and running, but we got some work to do because not everything's showing up.